Once upon a time, there was a woman named Yannick who was very worried. Her husband used to be kind and loving, but when he came back from the war, he became angry and difficult to predict. Yannick felt scared to be around him because he wasn't like the loving husband she remembered. Sometimes she would catch glimpses of his old self, but it didn't last long. Yannick didn't know what to do anymore and felt hopeless. In Yannick's village, whenever someone fell ill or faced a problem, they would seek help from a hermit residing in the mountains. However, Yannick believed in her ability to solve her own issues and took pride in it. But this particular time, things were not the same. Yannick found herself in a state of desperation, unlike ever before. As Yannick approached the hermit's hut, she saw the door was open. The old man said without turning around, "I hear you. What's your problem?" She explained the situation. His back still turned to her, he said, "Ah, yes. It's often that way when soldiers return from the war. What do you expect me to do about it?" Yannick pleaded, "Make a potion or an amulet, a drink, whatever it takes to get my husband back the way he used to be." The old man turned around and said, "Young woman, your request doesn't exactly fall into the same category as a broken bone or ear infection. I know it will take 3 days before I can even look into it. Come back then." After 3 long days, Yannick made her way back to the hermit's hut. The hermit welcomed her with a warm smile and shared some exciting news. "I have great news for you," he said cheerfully. "I know of a potion that can bring your husband back to his old self. But here's the catch. We need a very special ingredient, a whisker from a live tiger." Yannick was taken aback and exclaimed, "That's impossible. How can I find a live tiger and get its whisker?" The hermit's sudden outburst startled her, and he turned away dismissively, claiming to be too busy. Yannick was left feeling overwhelmed and uncertain about what to do next. That night, Yannick couldn't sleep as she worried about how to obtain a whisker from a live tiger. Determined to find a solution, the next day she woke up before sunrise and quietly left her house. With a bowl filled with delicious rice covered in tasty meat sauce, she ventured towards a cave nestled in the mountains where a majestic tiger resided. Yannick clicked her tongue softly, hoping to approach the tiger unnoticed. Her heart raced with anticipation as she carefully placed the bowl of food on the ground, trying not to make a sound. Slowly and cautiously, she moved away, hoping her actions would attract the tiger's attention. The following day, just as the sun began to rise, Yannick embarked on another mission to the cave. Armed with another bowl of scrumptious rice covered in savory meat sauce, she retraced her steps. With gentle clicks of her tongue, she cautiously approached the familiar spot. To her delight, she discovered that the bowl from the previous day had been emptied by the hungry tiger. Swiftly, she replaced it with a fresh bowl, being careful not to disturb the wild creature. With soft clicks and careful movements, she made her way back, hoping to build trust with the magnificent beast. So it went, day after day for several months. She never saw the tiger, but she knew from footprints on the ground that it had been eating her food. Then one day, as she approached, she noticed the tiger's head poking out of its cave. Glancing downward, she stepped very carefully to the same spot and, with as little noise as she could, set down the fresh bowl. Her heart pounding, she picked up the one that was empty. As time passed, Yannick observed a remarkable change in the tiger's behavior. After a few weeks of their interactions, she noticed that the majestic creature would emerge from its cave upon hearing her footsteps. Although it maintained a safe distance, it showed a growing curiosity towards her presence. Another month went by, and to Yannick's surprise, the tiger started waiting near the empty bowl, anticipating her arrival. The air was filled with their intertwined scents, as if they were becoming familiar companions. Yannick couldn't help but think, you know what? This tiger is actually quite friendly once you get to know it. During her next visit, Yannick stole a quick glance at the tiger and noticed a beautiful reddish fur that curved from one eyebrow to the other. It was a charming feature that caught her eye. To her surprise, not even a week later, The tiger welcomed her touch. Yonak cautiously reached out and gently rubbed its head. And to her delight, the tiger responded with purrs of contentment and stretched its body, resembling a domesticated house cat. It was a heartwarming moment that assured Yonak the time had finally arrived. The following morning, at the crack of dawn, Yonak carried a small knife with her. As she placed the fresh bowl of food and continued to stroke the tiger's head, she spoke softly. "Dear tiger, may I kindly have one of your whiskers?" Carefully, while gently petting the tiger with one hand, she grasped one whisker near its base. With a swift and precise motion, she skillfully carved off the whisker using her other hand. It was a delicate act performed with utmost care. Filled with gratitude, Yonak rose to her feet, expressing her heartfelt appreciation to the tiger. With the whisker safely held in her tightly clenched fist, she bid farewell, knowing it would be their final encounter. The following morning felt like an eternity as she eagerly awaited her husband's departure to the rice fields. As soon as he was out of sight, she sprinted towards the hermit's hut, the prized whisker gripped firmly in her hand. Bursting through the door, she couldn't contain her excitement, exclaiming to the hermit, "I did it! I found the tiger's whisker." As Yonak entered the hermit's hut, she was taken aback to find him facing a live tiger. Surprised, she exclaimed, "You won't believe what happened." The hermit turned to her and casually replied, "Oh, really?" Yonak eagerly shared her extraordinary journey, describing the months of patience and building trust with the tiger until it allowed her to carefully remove one of its precious whiskers. Beaming with pride, she presented the hermit with the cherished whisker, her eyes filled with anticipation. The hermit examined it, satisfied himself that it was indeed a whisker from a live tiger, and then flicked it into the fire, where it sizzled and burned in an instant. He said softly, "Yonak, you no longer need the whisker. Tell me, is a man more vicious than a tiger? If a dangerous wild beast will respond to your gradual and patient care, do you think a man will respond any less willingly?" Yonak stood speechless. Then she turned and stepped down the trail, turning over in her mind images of the tiger and of her husband, back and forth. Now she knew what she could do. And that's the end of our YouTube video. We hope you enjoy this inspiring story of Yonak and her journey. It reminds us that even in the face of impossible challenges, love, care, and patience can bring about incredible transformations. So, the next time you encounter a problem that seems insurmountable, remember Yonak and the tiger. Approach it with love and determination, taking one step at a time. You'll be surprised at what you can achieve. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more motivational stories and valuable content. Stay blessed and keep spreading positivity in your life.